Hello everyone, my name is Godfred and welcome to this video. In this video, we will be discussing if getting an AWS certification is one of the best ways in order to land a role as a software engineer in 2024. For those of you who do not know, I am a mechanical engineer turned software engineer, and I also have an AWS certification. So I know a thing or two about what it takes in order to make a transition from a non-tech role to a tech role. So in this video, I will be giving my thoughts on whether getting an AWS certification is the best way in order to land a job as a software engineer, for example. By the way, if you are currently looking to get an AWS certification, I made a video and detailed some resources that will help you get that certification. I'll link that video down in the description below. So some people have this idea that a certification is one of the only things that you would need in order to land a position in a tech field, and I'm here to say that it is not, and it is not for a number of reasons, and we will go over that reason down later on in the video. I just want to make the point that a certification is not a substitute for a degree, and if you are in the job market, recruiters and companies still value the degree when looking for candidates to fill a particular role. So a certification is not a degree, and it's not a substitute for a degree either. The reason why a certification is not enough, especially in 2024, is for a number of reasons. And one of those reasons is that there is currently a hard labor market when it comes to the tech field. I'm sure you guys are aware of the massive layoffs that happened last year and also early on this year, where companies like Facebook, Amazon, Google, Netflix, all the big tech companies were just laying people off in droves. So that caused a number of experienced software engineers to re-enter back into the labor market. And also you have graduates who are currently also now looking for new jobs. So overall, it is a competitive landscape. And if you are someone who doesn't have a tech-related degree such as computer science or computer engineering, it will be difficult for you to land a position. And the reason is simple. Recruiters and companies still look for those people with those degrees because those people tend to have those skill sets that match well with a role such as a software engineering role. So yeah, that's number one. It's a hard labor market, especially in 2024 and 2023. And number two is hiring preferences. And I think I spoke about this a bit in my previous point, but there are hiring preferences when it comes to filling a role, especially a role such as software engineering. Recruiters tend to value experience. So when looking at a candidate, they will value someone who has experience already as a software engineer, someone who maybe have worked in multiple companies for multiple years. Those are the candidates that recruiters will seek heavily for. And if it is an entry-level role that the company is trying to fill, then the recruiter will look for someone with a computer science degree. Like I said, those people tend to have those skill sets that match well with software engineering. So number one is experience, and number two is a more suitable degree that will match well with the role, such as computer science or computer engineering. And lastly, then they will try and take a chance on someone who is out of that domain. Let's say you are an accountant, so you have an accountant degree, and maybe you have an AWS certification in software engineering, one of the developer certifications, right? I think that's the level of order that they process candidates. So those are the reasons why it's difficult, and those are the reasons why just the AWS certification will not be enough for you to promote yourself as a potentially competitive candidate, right? But don't get discouraged, right? There are ways in order to get your foot into the tech field. I did it, so you can do it. And one of the ways to do it, and this is my number one point that I keep preaching in all of my videos, is that you need to make your resume as specific as possible, especially if you are coming from a domain that is not related to software engineering. So for me, I am a mechanical engineer. When I was looking to make a transition into the tech field, my resume only had projects related to software engineering. Any mechanical engineering project was not on my resume at all. So any coding projects that I did was on my software engineering resume. Any internship work that was related to software engineering was also on my resume as well. Everything was very specific to software engineering, and all the experiences were also related to software engineering. And then on top, I just put, okay, has AWS certification expired? You just put that on the top. Another way to boost your chances is to lean on your network and hunt relentlessly for referrals. people like us, and I say people like us, people with a non-traditional tech degree, right, or tech related degree, are essentially at a disadvantage. So we need to rely on our network. DM people on LinkedIn. Take advantage of other job postings and other job websites that will connect you directly to recruiters. I forget one of the ways that one of the websites that I use, but if I remember, I will put it somewhere in this video. So take advantage of referrals, take advantage of a network, and take advantage of the job websites that will connect you to recruiters. And to close it out, I want to make this final point. And I made this point in my AWS certification video, but try and take strategic steps when it comes to the position that you are hunting for. So if you want to be a software engineer, but you are coming from an accounting background, right? Yes, it is good for you to hunt for software engineering roles on Facebook, Google, Amazon, all of those big tech companies, but it will be much more difficult for you to land those roles. So if you want to avoid that, one of the paths that I would recommend people take is to look for positions within these big tech companies that are not directly tied to software engineering. If I find some of those positions, I'll put it somewhere on the screen, but you can start off in these roles, these tech related roles, you know, where you are getting some hands-on experience with tech, but not necessarily coding or doing heavy software engineering work. And then once you're in that role, and especially within a good company, nothing stops you from expanding your skill sets. Nothing stops you from looking for other jobs within that specific company, right? And that is the path that I chose. When I was looking to make the transition into software engineer, I didn't make the transition from mechanical engineering directly to software engineering. First, I became a cloud engineer, right? And from that, I spent a year doing that, and then I received my certification, added it to my resume, and then make a transition within the same company to software engineering. This process can take multiple steps and it will take time. But if you are diligent, if you are strategic enough, nothing will stop you, right? So yeah, that is it for this video. If you guys want another video explaining how to make your resume as specific as possible and how to hunt for a certain job, let me know in the comments below and I'll make that video. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you and bye.